basically after I do the transition, you will still have no, authority to administer first aid, but you would know enough to when to call 911, or you know what to do. You cannot do CPR because we do practice. If you're interested, we offer a course at Medical First Aid every at least Saturday, Sunday, once a month. About $30 a person. You can take it Saturday, Sunday, like 6-7 hours, meet some people, and get your first aid license. It's pretty useful. So, Sigma Chi First Aid, table of contents. This is what we're going to talk about. A general intro of what you do. We're looking at some cases what will happen. Basically, I'm focusing more on party-related stuff, but we also have some cardiac stuff, just because we have some aluminum over, which normally doesn't happen, but just in case. And we're going to go into burns, hyper, and hypothermia because of Canadian weather, and of course intoxication, drugs, and allergies, which is a big part of our students. So, introduction. First aid steps. So basically, if there's a situation going on, what you do is you come in, you check the environment, you check if it's safe for you. If it's not safe, you don't have to do anything and call 911 straight. If it's safe, then you check the person. You check the person if they're alert. If they're alert, just ask them what happened. And if they're on the floor, you talk to them, and if they respond verbally, then there's something wrong, and you should probably call 911. But they can respond verbally, so they're still there. The next step is called the antonym is AFPU, and the P stands for pain. So basically, if they're not responding at all, you just pinch their shoulder, and you see their eyes. If their eyes squim or squish, that means they're responding to pain. That means that they're still there. And of course, this is the classic unconscious case. Then after you establish if they're alert, verbal, and they're in pain, or if they're unconscious, you call 911. In your scenario, if you see a situation where there's someone not responding, you just straight up call 911. Once you do get your first aid license, you can do other steps in the middle and start treating. So, starting with number 1, respiration emergencies. Of course, allergies will come into this, but we're going to talk about allergies after. Respiration emergencies. Simple case, hyperventilation. Some girl broke up with her boyfriend at a party and just goes, hyperventilating. You sit down with her and just calm her down. You talk to her, stuff like that. Complex is a collapsed lung. Collapsed lung can happen, someone's going outside running and all of a sudden they feel a pain in the right side, and it could be a collapsed lung. Or it could be pneumothorax, where your thorax coming down starts collapsing. So anything that's collapsed lung, it's really complex. Even with the first aid, license, you can't treat it. You have to call 911 straight away. There's always choking, people eating in the kitchen. Choking is really easy. You all know the Heimlich maneuver. That's the basic thing there is. Asthma, people in the house who have asthma, they probably have buffers at our age, but they could always be the first attack. Again, you can't prescribe medication, but you can call 911. And of course, we're talking about collapsed lung, which is the most complex thing that can happen with respiration. There's also puncture wounds, but that's when the fight breaks out, and I'm pretty sure none of us want to step in there, except for our gear risk manager. Sorry if I'm talking fast, tell me if I'm not going too fast.
Can we ask questions, right?
Sure.
How can you tell if it's a minor, like it's asthma, as opposed to a complex thing? Because when you call 911, you want to give them as much information as possible. That's true. Okay. So yeah, that's what the next slide is. How do you check for what it is? If it's minor or something, the person's breathing is just either shallow or deep. If they're hyperventilating, it's shallow. And if they're really, really depressed, it's because their circulation system is getting depressed, they start taking deep breaths. If there is a collapsed lung, which is the most complex thing, you basically try to take the shirt off, put your hands on both sides, and tell them to breathe in. The place where it's collapsed, the rib will go in, and the other side will breathe normally. So for example, if my right lung is collapsed, my ribs will just straight in go in, and they will not expand. So you can also do it without, if the person's not comfortable, with they're taking the shirt off and everything, you just put your hands on the back, and tell them to breathe normally, and you'll feel it straight away. I've never practiced with a normal person with collapsed lung, but you can feel pressure building up on one side. If you want, you can try on each other, put your hands on their back and tell them to breathe normally. You'll feel the pressure on your fingers building up. So if there is a collapsed lung on one side, you feel it expanding. If both the lungs are collapsed, I'm pretty sure they'll be unconscious within 1 or 2 minutes. So. Yes? How do you avoid a sexual assault suit if you take the girl's shirt off, like you said too?
Okay, if it's
CPR, is there any restrictions for that, or
CPR? You don't take the shirt off.
I mean, not like CPR, but if someone's in danger, you can rip off their shirt.
The easiest thing to do is basically check their back and not do anything. You can introduce yourself, establish who you are, and tell them that you know basic first aid, and just take their back. If they're comfortable, and if the thing is, the rule we go with: girl does girl, boy does boy.
Sorry.
Thank you. Anyways, if you're a guy, you can help guys, and guys are okay with girls checking, their breathing. So, all right. So when it comes, you can ask someone the female, to help you, and you guide her through and ask her to check for stuff, and you ask her what she's doing. So that's moving on to cardiac. Simple. Cardiac, anything is not simple. If it's cardiac, it's important. The simplest thing you can think of is arrhythmia, which is like your pulse is not normal. It's your PQ. It extends, so it's not good.
What's PQ?
Oh, your cardiac pulse. So P starts, it's like how your pulse goes, you know how your heart rate is?
Yeah.
So P starts at the front, Q is at the top, R is at the bottom, and S is, there's two bumps in there. This is not an accurate pulse rate, but there's an S, and like a little, like a second later, there's a T, and the cycle starts again. So when you feel two beats in your heart, like dot dot, it's your Q and it's your S, I believe. Take cardiology, physical. Anyways, the complex case is cardiac arrest. Person goes, ugh, and drops no fun. Most of the time,
Demonstrate?
Demonstrate? That volunteers should demonstrate. But basically, when people have, they feel like, heartburn or like they feel cardiac arrest coming on, their left hand goes down. You've all seen cases where, older people hold their arms. It's because of associative pain. Because the nerves are all connected in this part, so when something's wrong with your heart, your left elbow starts feeling weird as well. And yet, you can do is you tell them to sit down and you call 911. The other thing you can do is on campus at the gym, there's an AED kit. That's the best thing you have to try to bring them back from any kind of cardiac arrest. AED is a defibrillator, automatic electronic defibrillator. McGill is trying to.
It's emergency now.
Emergency, okay. Automatic. I thought it was electronic. Alright. Anyways, McGill is trying to have them all in the entire campus. Right now they're at the gym, at Res, and McGill First Aid Office. But we're trying to expand it all the way. And
like the
two pads, yeah. And it's basically instructions are on the thing. I don't have a machine with me because it's expensive. But the instructions are on the thing and anybody can operate them. And it's one on the middle, one on this side, or towards the right side. They have stickers everywhere and all you have to do is do a shot. So when you suspect anything with the circulation system or cardiac, you always check for pulse. First place to check for pulse, right here on the wrist. Right side is better, but you can check the left side as well. Second thing you can check for is see if there's bleeding anywhere. And there's internal bleeding as well. So if there's internal bleeding, the person's not feeling well, and they'll say, my stomach hurts. And you say, okay, and you ask if they can lift their shirt. If they lift their shirt and you see it's purple, there's internal bleeding. Internal bleeding, you call 911 right there, right then. External bleeding, if you can bandage it up, you bandage it. But if you think it's a deep cut, stitches will be required, and again, 911. Pulse, if you don't feel anything on the wrist, sometimes not everybody has it, there's the carotid artery on this side and this side. Easiest way, you take your fist like this, and you go like that. And you will feel it. It's a bit harder on yourself, but you can try on somebody else.
Try, can you do that again? I'm just going to do a close-up on you.
Okay. You take your hand like this, like you're eating with your hand. You put it on, and you just expand it. And it should be on one side. If you don't feel it on your thumb, you feel it on this side. On your fingers. You feel it? Alright. Alright, and normal pulse for a human being is 72 beats.
Per minute?
Yeah. And for breathing, it's about 16 to 24. But 18 is a good average. But again, the breathing is